The Japanese Imperial Army invaded the city of Nanking, which was then the seat of the nationalist government in China, as well as the capital of mainland China. And within a 6 to 8 week period, the Japanese army not only looted and burned this defenseless city, but systematically raped, tortured, and murdered some 300,000 Chinese civilians.
She unearthed a lot of information about one of the huge genocides of World War II, which was called the Nanjing Massacre. And it was known, there's historical evidence and whatnot, but it hadn't really been told in the West. Sadly, what happened was around the age of 36, she ended up taking her life.
When you're looking at mental illness, we don't talk about it. And until we start talking about it and bringing it out to say, I'm struggling, I need help, most times people around us don't realize it, right? It's that silent struggle that a lot of people deal with.
When they finally had a diagnosis of me, and they were saying it's a mild case of manic depression. And I said, how the fuck can you call that mild? Have you ever been depressed? Do you know what the fuck that is?
You took her perspective from childhood to current day, and as she's processing with you, she also gained a sense of self.
In indigenous cultures, in our Hawaiian culture, our Samoan, a lot of our cultures, we don't talk about it. Western culture talks about it, but there's so much shame and stigma attached that we still don't even do a good job of talking about it there.
People going through mental illness are warriors because there's stigma attached a lot of times. And families also get burnt out a lot of times. And so a lot of times, those who don't have the support systems are left alone.
When we were having a conversation, I just noticed she kept saying things like, she doesn't want anyone to know where she is, she wants to disappear, and then the red flags started going off, and I started realizing, I think she's actually still in crisis.
It's up to educators and adult males to teach the younger generations on how they should approach the feminist movement. And I do understand that there is a lot of confusion on the behalf of the male gender on what is the protocol in this new world that is women empowered. Unfortunately, we do have to still fight the misogyny that's still happening on a systematic level.
But statistically, in politics or, being part of student government, going down to the legislature, it's mostly male.
Because that's what's going to happen, is that men are going to be like, okay, maybe you can make the same that I make, but I still look at you as less than human.
Our social culture does affect institutions and how they're ran, maybe not on a law level, but just on how it's perpetuated. And I think there's a few issues with that.